Seeing as Naruto is my favorite anime and even the reason behind why I like talking about anime, it's pretty surprising that I've yet to post a video talking about the series. So today I wanted to change that by going over the order in what I think the original Naruto arcs rank from worst to best. With all that being said, let's get into the video. At number 5, we have the Search for Tsunade arc. Honestly, it should surprise no one that this arc comes last, as it's pretty much the only training arc in OG Naruto. Not to say it's a bad arc, but so much time is put into Naruto trying to learn the Rasengan for a good reason, but at the same time, I wasn't exactly entertained. On top of this, the introduction of Tsunade's character was alright, to put it best. Now on to my biggest problem with this arc, which is the over-involvement of Kabuto. Throughout the whole big major fight of this arc, it seemed as Orochimaru was taking a backseat, letting Kabuto wipe his ass for him, as the nigga really didn't do much. Now I know at this point in the series, Orochimaru can't use hand signs, making him significantly less powerful, but I'm not trying to hear that, cause this nigga was able to fight Four Tails Naruto like this. But get bitched by Tsunade like this. In reality, this arc is not bad, but just due to it being a training arc, its whole purpose is to set up for future arcs, and it kinda has to sacrifice some things for that to happen. On to number 4, we have the Konoha Crush arc. In reality, this arc only focuses on 2 things. One being the fight between Orochimaru and the 3rd Hokage, and the second being the fight between Naruto and Gaara. To start off with the Naruto and Gaara fight, I think this is the best the arc had to offer, as it really gave more insight on how Naruto's character could have been if he had not been given the chance to make friends along this journey. Or at least that's what the story was going for, but Gaara had a brother and sister who genuinely cared for him, so it's not like he wasn't loved at all. Now though I say that, I honestly do think Gaara is the best antagonist from original Naruto, as his backstory seemed to make his character so easy to sympathize with. With Gaara's character, there was this sense of understanding of how Gaara could get to the point he was. Like I said before, Gaara really is just Naruto, but if he had no one, so a lot of my liking for Naruto goes hand in hand with Gaara. On top of this, the man's ability to just not give a fuck is actually pretty crazy. On to the second part of the arc, which is the 3rd Hokage, who I'm just call Hiruzen from now on, and the Orochimaru fight. Now when I say this fight was dragged on, I really mean it. This fight had no reason for being that long, as at the time, I didn't even feel like I was getting more insight on Orochimaru's character or even Hiruzen's. Sure, there was context given to how things got to the way they were, but unlike the Gaara versus Naruto fight, I feel like there was no time given to how Orochimaru actually felt and why he was doing all this. And this is something that happens all the time for Orochimaru. We always know what he wants, but the series makes it obscure on why he wants it. The fight in and of itself though was really cool, and probably would have been top 10 fights in the series if it didn't take the time it takes a black father to come back to his child. At number 3, we have the tuning exams, and I got you, didn't I? Yeah, nah, at the number 3 spot, we have the Land of Waves arc. Now, though the fights in this arc for the most part aren't as visually appealing, I will say this arc does the best job at conveying Naruto's character and even developing it, as at the beginning of the arc, we get a hesitant Naruto unable to battle efficiently, but towards the end, we have a Naruto that can bring himself to act without thought. On top of this, in the arc, we once again get one of the best villains in the series, which is Zabuza Momochi. Zabuza's lookout on Shinobi were that they were tools, and he even thought of the one person who truly cared for him to be nothing but a tool. That was until Naruto came along to change this lookout Zabuza had on Shinobi. Through Naruto's words, Zabuza learned that Shinobi aren't just tools but are human. And I love this because even though Zabuza got Tag no Jutsu'd, it's not like he turned into a good guy. All that changed was his feelings towards Haku and his idea on what Shinobi are. And this arc also had the baddest bitch Haku, so... What? On to number 2, we have the Sasuke Retrieval arc, and this arc is pretty crazy. Now in this arc, we get to see some characters who in previous arcs didn't have a major role or didn't stand out that much narratively. For example, Choji and Akamaru. We don't give a shit about Kiba here. The build up in this arc, in my opinion, was also the best the series ever did, as each and every fight leading up to the Naruto versus Sasuke fight give context on as to how grave and serious the situation was. Then we have the Naruto and Sasuke fight in and of itself, which is just pure art. From the themes to the animation to the balanced amount of dialogue, the fight was perfect. If there was really anything I had a problem with in this arc, it would be how the Sand siblings showed up. It was definitely cool to see Gaara and Lee work side by side together, but the involvement of Temari and Kankuro was not something I really liked. At number 1, we got the tuning exams arc. I really wish the tuning exams wasn't at the number 1 spot, as literally everyone considers this the best arc in OG Naruto, but it's too good to put any lower. Through this arc, we get introduced to new locations and characters from those locations, like the Hidden Sound and the Hidden Sand villages. Speaking about characters, this arc introduces the most and for the most part uses them. For example, Tenten gets a canon fight in this arc. How often do you see that? There's also a plethora of back-to-back fights with interesting themes in this arc that almost rival tackle the Naruto versus Sasuke fight. Lee versus Gaara, Naruto versus Neji, Temari versus Shikamaru, and my personal favorite, Sakura versus Ino. We all know she was holding back though, seeing as she can beat Goku casually, y'all know that. All in all, this arc had everything to keep anyone or anything entertained. Now with that being the end of the video, go on and exit the full screen window and press that subscribe button. And if y'all blow this video up, I'll do part 2 ranking the arcs in Shippuden too. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.